15,000 का phone 50,000 रुपए में. So for 35,000 rupees that they will pocket, and in some cases 50,000 rupees that they will pocket, these jail officials are willing to compromise our country's security. That's the impact, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just a small act of corruption. It is compromising with the country's security and creating an internal security threat, because these gangsters are involved in arms, they are involved in drugs, they are involved in explosives and in terror activities. So what are the takeaways? For gangsters, jails are a safe haven with easy access to conveniences. The second point that stands out, arms, phones, etc., very, very easily available. Jailed gangsters are in close touch with henchmen outside, and the killers outside jail often coordinate with NETAS, and there is political patronage that is given. The jailed gangsters, they pay big money for amenities, so many officers, quote unquote, cooperate. This is how porous the system has become, how corrupt the system has become. Anvit now with us, who's had that conversation. Anvit, now we've been talking about the issue as far as corruption within the jails is concerned, but this is blatant. Now, how is it that the top officials, the government is okay with officers behaving in such a way? It's bringing bad name to the khaki, to the uniform. It is compromising on internal security. It is also a huge national security threat. You are also allowing these gangsters to go ahead and openly corrupt society. All these are huge offenses. Exactly. And how is it that these officials are just booked for corruption and they get away with it, or they are transferred? That's all.
Yeah, see, this is true that officers mostly get away, and we have seen in multiple cases how these officers who are basically running the jail do not come under the radar, and it is just the gangster who has been accused of this corruption. But it is a two-way system. If there's no supply, there'll be no demand as well. But when we spoke to this this alleged gangster, this person who agreed to speak to us, and you see how he says that the jail prasashan puri sheh deta hai. Iska matlab they feel so free inside, and there have been time and again videos coming up on social media, on the internet, then shows that how gangsters have been enjoying their life inside the jail, inside a cell. They are not short of food they want, they are not short of the cell phones, the kind of cell phones they want to use, be it an iPhone, be it an Android phone. They are not short of drugs in jail. So they are living a life better than what they can live outside, because outside, he further goes on to speak that they have threats of being of the police encounter or being killed by their rival groups. And he further goes on to say that the puri mili bhagat hai, which means that their administration and these gangsters are very cordial with each other, and mostly it is even in the past we have seen senior officials like superintendent. A superintendent in Tihar jail is in charge of entire jail. There are 16 jails in Tihar jail, and entire jail has one superintendent who heads the jail. Above them are the DGs and then ADG and the DIG. But at the superintendent level, a person runs the entire jail, and if the superintendent himself is compromised, just imagine the kind of corruption that will be going inside. And these officials mostly do not come on radar. It is only the gangsters that are accused of corruption. But further, and we have seen when the Gogi was killed, it was said that Tilu Tajpuria, who had orchestrated his killing, he was lodged in Tihar. When Sidhu Moosewala took place, Lawrence Bishnoi was in jail. When Sukesh Chandrasekhar's scam came to surface, he was in Rohini jail. So it is not just one jail. Delhi has 3 jail premises: Mandoli, Rohini and Tihar. Tihar is said to be one of the most secure because the most high-risk prisoners, be it Chota Rajan, be it all these gangsters, everyone is there, said to be there. Now they are put in the high-risk jail, but this is the kind of scenario, this is what has surfaced, that this is what going on in high-risk prisons. All these gangsters, Neeraj Bhavania, Tilu Tajpuria, they are all in Tihar, and they are all in high-risk jails, and this is what is happening from inside the jail. They are so easily accessing their contacts outside. Their contacts are then told to shoot at businessman's house or whoever their money is to be extorted, and it is named as protection money. They are indulging into extortion. They are indulging into taking money from all the illegal contracts and tender mafias. So this is blatantly happening, which is very correct.
But it is the action of a few cops which is smearing a taint on the entire khaki. Shashikantji, your blood should boil. As a former DGP, the amount of risk that our personnel in khaki take to keep us safe, they are working against so many challenges. The fact is they are 1:700. That is the ratio in our country. a cop to civilian ratio, one cop for every 700 people. That's the responsibility that they have. And those who are dispensing their duties honestly with integrity, what will they be feeling when around them they know that these people are corrupt, but you can't do anything about it? And what happens? They just get shafted from one jail to another jail. So they will move out of Delhi and they'll be put somewhere else, in some other state, in some other area. They will continue those operations there. There has to be something that needs to be done, Shashikant ji.
Yes, of course. Like I said, one word, there are two words that come up. That number one is Milli Bhagat, and second is detriment. There is Milli Bhagat, but again, like your correspondents have also said, which of you would talk to the persons, there is no deterrence. Tell me one person who was hanged. Tell me one person who was really given such a severe punishment that others also they'll realize, yeah, what's happening if they try to do this thing, that's the fate they're going to do. And you talk about blood being boiled. Well, when I was in service, I'd become anemic because my blood boiled ho ke सूख gaya tha. Kya karoge? What could I do? I tried my level best. I requested the Punjab and Haryana High Court. They were very kind about it. They instituted a committee of 3 sitting judges to help me and to monitor the things that are going on. Nothing happened because I was not given any support, neither on political level. Yes, High Court supported me, media supported me, but from the government circles, nobody supported me. Nobody supported me. This is the state of affairs. Blood जितना boil होने दीजिए, सूख के एनेमिक हो जाएगा, बंदा मर जाएगा, पर कुछ नहीं होगा. Deterrence and Milli Bhagat, दो चीजें हैं, which are the words. अगर ये दोनों चीजों को खत्म नहीं किया जाएगा और deterrence नहीं दिखाई जाएगी, I doubt if anything will improve. And like you rightly mentioned, it's doing a few cops, a few persons in khaki.
Correct.
And we are blaming, and rightly so, the entire system. I think that now that NIA has jumped into it, I'm sure that they're going to look into these aspects, also give their recommendations to the highest body of the country, the Home Ministry or whatever it is.
No, because
it
what
needs to be stopped, otherwise country is going to dogs. No, sorry, thank you.
Because what an HGS Dhaliwal and his team can do is catch these people and put them in jail. Beyond that, their jurisdiction is over. It's now the courts, it's some other person, some other superintendent, some other department which is now has to ensure that these people are given are punished for their deeds and they're put in prison and not in a 5-star hotel. That is where the problem is. Hemant Atri, if in Jammu and Kashmir an OGW is equated to a terrorist, that means somebody who aids, abets, helps a terrorist is equivalent to a terrorist, then somebody who works, aids, abets and gives cover fire or patronage to a gangster should also be a gangster. And if that gangster is involved in terror activities and also in the sale and purchase of drugs, then these people should also be indicted for the same error, same crime. That's what we need to do in our law.
I fully agree with you, but there are two more points into it. See, Indian Penal Code is a code which is almost 160 years old. It was British time, and not much amendments have been done. Same is the case with jail manuals also. Even after so many technologies through GPS and so many other things, internet technology and many other things, we have to take a holistic view of the whole situation. Number one, there has to be some superintendence over the jail administration. And again, there has to be some intelligence. And now I know many technologies there. I used to know one IPS officer who he showed me a demo. While sitting at his residence, he got into his laptop and he showed me 6 telephone numbers which were operating from a certain jail at that point in time. It was at 8:30 in the night. If that is a technology available with one IPS officer who happened to be an IIT graduate, so why not the whole government can have it? So the real issue is we have to first amend the IPC, accordingly the jail manuals, then ensure superintendence of intelligence agencies as well as the law enforcing agencies. And for that, you have to sit down together, central government as well as state governments, along with paramilitary forces, because there is a transnational crime going on now from abroad. So it's a holistic approach, and all of them have to sit together, and they have to come out with certain concrete, decisive factors into the knowledge and then decide accordingly. Otherwise, these things will keep happening, and you don't believe. If you recollect 1 week back, there was a gangster arrested from Gurgaon. And you know what he was going to do? There were 15 people on his target, 15 businessmen, a few doctors, whom he was going to have a ransom from 15 lakhs to 1.5 crores. And police said it on record. Who was giving him those directions? Can
Correct.
he do it on his own? There has to be a set of people who are gangsters and shooters who are operated from somewhere else, most probably from a jail. So, Anand, 70% of the crime, which is the organized crime I'm talking of, it may be drug, it can be target killing,
Ji.
it can be, ferocity and so many other things. These are operating from the jail. One has to understand that. And